All right, what's up, everyone? Give me 1 second. I got to fix my screen here. All right, that's what we want right there. All right, what do we got for a date here? Today is November 20th. It's Thursday. That means we got some Thursday night football. We have Bills versus Texans tonight. I think it's a 5.5 point spread, so kind of a close game. Bills have been looking very boomer bust lately, so I think it'll be a good game. Anthony driving home from work. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping in. And Kells is also in the chat. How's it going? All right, we have a ton of updates for the Sharp Money Discord. We got through a ton of bug fixes today and kind of some upgrades. The college basketball bot pretty much had a relaunch because we had it running for a couple days and it got shot down with some bugs and some errors. So we finally got that fixed. It's been spitting out so much value all day long. If I just look at the plays I have open today, I'm pretty sure like everyone is absolutely crushing. This one, Texas Vanderbilt, I got a 10% edge here. First half under 10% edge. Central Michigan, 2% edge. This is another Texas bet, 11% edge. Vandy minus 35.5, 7% edge. Basically everything that I've touched for college basketball today has absolutely crushed it. So if you guys have questions about the college basketball bot, let me know. Hopefully we can see a decent amount of plays that we can go over them. So I'm going to start with the FanDuel bot and see what we have for plays popping up here. So this one looks really good right off the rip here. The Magic minus 3.5 at minus 104. We see a limit increase. You got to look at this chart again. Big picture, it looks great, but if you zoom in, it only goes from the price of 109 to 105. So we do get a drop, but it's really not a big drop. A big drop, I would consider something to be like 10 cents. So we don't have a huge drop here, but it is moving in the right direction at $5,000 limits for this first half spread. So I'll be taking this one. Magic 3.5 minus 104. The other thing you might notice is the links are fixed for the NBA and a couple other sports right now, where we aren't going through tiny URL anymore, which is great. So we're going to get this first bet in here pretty quick, and I'm going to add these bets to the ticker on the bottom of the screen, so if new people join, they can actually hit them. So max bet is 156 for me. So I'm going to add these on the ticker on the bottom. Let's see. So we got Magic. First half, minus 3.5 at minus 104 on FanDuel. So we'll have all the plays going at the bottom. So if you join late, you can still grab them. We got the jackpot promo tonight on FanDuel, so we'll definitely be doing that. Same game parlay for the Thursday night game. We get a hockey 25% profit boost for the same game parlay and NBA. So I'll be looking in the Sharp Money free Discord to find some DVIGs from the promo group. I'm assuming those are already built out. Guys are on the ball typically. Here is a first quarter total points, very small liquidity market, only $1,000 limits here. Price has been moving towards the over a little bit on Circa today. 9 o'clock this morning, it was 53. Now it's at 54.5. So I like the movement here. Less than a 1% edge, but with that movement, I think I'm going to take a little stab here. So it's going to, Magic Clippers game. First quarter, over. So we got two good plays here. This is plus 130. I'll just go 100 here on this one. Flat bet this. So we're ripping through plays already. If you guys have any questions about plus EV betting or anything in general, let me know. Happy to answer them. And they usually spark pretty good conversations once a lot of questions are asked. So definitely feel free to ask questions. So Clippers, Magic. First quarter over 55.5 points. Plus 130, so we got a little alternate line here on FanDuel. Hanson's in the chat. First time, been following on Pickett. That's awesome. Thanks for joining, man. Let's if you got questions, let me know for sure. Hopefully we can cash some of these bets today. Munyon sending some dollar signs. Oh, look at that. See that price change right there? We just put this at plus 130. It's now plus 128. So fair value on this play is 128.21. So you're looking for a price that is better than fair value. 128 is slightly worse than 128.21. So the movement here isn't too bad, where you could probably still play it slightly under fair value, but for the most part, I would lay off that play. The 2 cents means a lot. If you're new to EV betting, you might think it's kind of crazy that I recommend you playing a play for plus 130 and tell you it's a bad play at plus 128. That is just how EV betting works. We're playing very small edges at as much volume as possible. And if you're new to EV betting, this is what it's all about right here. This is my Pickett chart where I have tens of thousands of bets tracked at low ROI. So what are we looking at here? Like almost 40,000, little under 40,000 bets total, and a 2.5% ROI, which some people might say is small, but you do that as many times as possible and you pull results like this. $77,000. I was hoping to get to 100K by the end of the year, but I don't think that's going to happen. This is in the past 2.5 years of me sports betting. And I started with a $2,000 bankroll betting $10 or $20 per play. So that just goes to show you kind of where I started. Like, you don't need a ton of money. Yeah, 2.5 is pretty high to some people. It says Lambo. No, we'll not be getting a Lambo. I bought some land with my extra income. I bought in a truck. That's basically the only two bigger purchases that I probably wouldn't have made without the sports betting money. But most of it stays in the bankroll to continue to grow it. That's what I always recommend, is start making money. Your ability to scale relies on you keeping your profits in there and keep betting it. So I always recommend, don't take your profits out unless you're so limited on books that you can't actually get down on them anymore for your full unit size. Then you can take money out because you don't need it anymore, obviously. Looks like even the NHL bot probably got fixed today as well, because I haven't seen a first period puck line all year. So I think, there's a lot of code fixed in here for sure. All right, here's a great question, which we have not seen a call. Let me try to find a college basketball bet so we can answer this question a little better. Bengals getting priced pretty hard. Man, ESPN has some really good plays. That's college football. All right, here's one right here. So this is Iowa versus Chicago State. But the question is, for the college basketball bot, how is the fair value line calculated when comparing to different lines at SharpBooks when they do not have odds for the same line we're getting? So this is the logic we used. As you know, Circa, Pinnacle, and Bookmaker are like the three sharpest books in the world, essentially. Exchanges and prediction markets, you could argue they're getting sharper and closer to fair value prices. But for the most part, Circa, Bookmaker, and Pinnacle have been the gold standard for using them as fair value. So the issue with college or a lot of lines in general is that Circa and Bookmaker primarily will only place one line, where like this one, Circa has plus 33 for Chicago State, a minus 110. And instead of them building a bunch of alt lines at plus 33.5, plus 34, and so on, they stick to one main line. They just price that as accurately as they can and move their main line up and down. Bookmaker does the same things. They have recently added some alt lines, but I don't think our API even picks those up. So we just track the main line still. But Pinnacle, if you go to Pinnacle, like let's just look at this event. You will see that it produces basically all the alt lines for like 5 points up and down, basically. So Iowa versus Chicago State. I just want to show you the difference here. So if we go to alt lines, we can see the spreads. They have the spreads for, oh, this is Iowa, Kansas, but we're going to use it. Actually, I'll just even have this on here. Oh, it was right there. Never mind. So they have all the alt lines. Oh, they don't have all the alt lines. They only have the normal spread. So I guess this does not work. They have all the alt lines for the totals, which is weird. All right, we'll look at a different market just to kind of show you. But anyway, so what we basically did was using Pinnacle, or actually Pinnacle Odds Dropper was very helpful for this too, but we used their Novig fair price to find the difference between moving from like +5 points to +4 points. With fair value drop -123 to -116, you can determine how much a half a point is worth. So for the move from +5 to +4.5 is worth 7 cents. And essentially what we did was we took a very large sample size and mostly averaged it out, but we did find that even the higher spreads and higher totals, moving 1 point in the same direction was pretty much the same value. So what we did was we took all of Pinnacle's alt lines, figured out how they priced their alt lines, and then applied it to Circa and Bookmaker to create alternate lines. So for Circa at 31 -110, we know that if we add 1.5 points of value towards Chicago, it should be, it's close to 30 cents of value per half. Sorry, a half point is worth close to 10 cents of value. So just a rough thing in your head, we're moving from 31 to 32.5. So that's 3 half points. So that would be about 30 cents of fair value, adding the extra stuff. So that's a rough breakdown of how that works. It's basically we use the pricing from Pinnacle's alternate lines to price alternate lines for Circa and Bookmaker. Don't know if I explained that the best as possible, but man, there's some really good plays. All right, let's go back to FanDuel before I keep looking elsewhere. Here's a play for tonight that, damn, I kind of like the movement here by Circa, though. The Bills and Texans for tonight, the first half total under 21.5. Not sure why it's not showing our mainline prices here. Pinnacle has gone up. They hit about 105 and got priced down. Pinnacle is sitting at -101, so you're only getting 3 cents better. So I don't love that. So I guess I'm going to hold off on this one. The price is too close to Pinnacle. All right, Northwestern +3.5 here. So here's a play I like. Pinnacle has this alternate line +3.5 -132. So they have this line. We're not making artificial lines for Pinnacle because they have a lot of these alt lines. So they have them +3.5 -132. Meanwhile, on FanDuel, we can get -115. So that's 17 cents difference on pricing here. And then we also, Circa is at -2 for their price, and Bookmaker is at 2.5. So we're using a DVIG with Circa, Bookmaker, and Pinnacle here to come up with this 2% edge. So we have the edge, we have the play. Now I'm looking for line movement. So I'm looking for the last recent few moves, and everything seems to be good. We've moved from basically 2.5 to 2, kind of back and forth a little bit, but we saw this number at 3 earlier in the day, and it's moved down to 2. So that's good to see. And same with Bookmaker, moving from 3 to 2.5. So I like the movement. Pinnacle's been moving down since about 4 p.m. Without a limit uptick, but Pinnacle's been moving down. So I like to see that. So this is the play I'm taking. Northwestern plus 3.5, minus 115. Why that didn't load. Oh, you know what? Is Northwestern a Massachusetts school? Pretty sure it is. I can't bet college sports in Massachusetts. I can't bet Massachusetts colleges. Let me know if you guys have that play. Northeastern plus 3.5. Yeah, Northeastern is definitely a school in Massachusetts. So unfortunately, I can't get that play. Total I'm laying off of first quarter total points still. Magic, a lot of Magic and Clippers first quarter total points. All right, here's a play that I'll take here. This is a soccer corners play over 9.5 minus 110. I might have actually hit this already. Valencia CF versus Levante UD. Don't even know what league that is, but the corners market is very good. I almost don't even look at $27 max, but I almost don't even look at the line movement sometimes on Pinnacle on here because Pinnacle prices seem to always kill fair value or kill the closing line on FanDuel here. So they were priced at Pinnacle has minus 136 and FanDuel has minus 110. So clear value there. Even without line movement, I'm all over that one. All right, I think let's hit one of these promos. And we just scroll back a little further, see if there's anything that still looks good. All right, one more message that just came out. Is that the Magic? This line's getting steamed hard. Yeah, I'm going to play this again. Magic first quarter points because look at this movement. Pinnacle just dropped from minus 145 down to like minus 170. That is insane. If we can get on this, to be a very good play. Over 52.5 minus 140. That's some crazy action right there. We see great movement from Circa mainline as well. From this morning at 53 to early this afternoon to 53.5 to mid afternoon 54 to right about now 54.5. So the over for this Magic Clippers game is getting steamed for the first quarter. All right, Miami, Florida versus Elon. This is an interesting one. So we don't have Pinnacle odds here. So this is Novig off of Circa and Bookmaker alternate lines that we have created. So I'm really looking at the line movement here to where it's been a weird day for this movement. If I really take out tomorrow and just look at today, it's moved from like 19.5 up to 21.5. So it hasn't got good movement there. All right, this is a very interesting play because the sharp books disagree a lot. Circa has this plus 21.5 minus 110, which is actually a better price than ESPN bet. But the reason that it's showing up as value is because look at Bookmaker. They have this 2 full points lower for their main line. So although this is an EV play to the blend of Circa and Bookmaker, I'm not going to take it just because they're not agreeing with each other. I want to see the sharp books agree with their movement and the lines. Yeah, it was Northeastern plus 3.5, I believe. Let's look at DraftKings real quick because they have a lot of good plays as well. Colgate minus 130. Circa has opened 4.5 and has just stayed there flat. I like that. Put the line out there and they stay by their number. They don't move it. Bookmaker's been at 4.5 for a while also. So this is pretty much just an edge to our alternate line strategy. Oh, Pinnacle's also baked in here. So Pinnacle has the 6.5 at minus 147. So 17 cents better. I'm going to take this Colgate plus 6.5 minus 130. I'm also going to go to Onyx odds and see if it's available there. So minus 125. So we're actually getting a better price on DraftKings now. Sweet. Did you guys see that Fanatics says they're launching a prediction market in the next couple weeks? It'll be available in states that the Fanatics Sportsbook is not available in. So I'm going to try to get this on Onyx odds because Onyx odds often mirrors DraftKings odds. So if you're limited like me on DraftKings, where I don't even know how much money I just got down there, probably like $12. I wasn't even paying attention. But you might be able to get more money down on Onyx odds. So Colgate, that's today at 7 or really 8 o'clock Eastern, plus 6.5. So let's see. Alternate lines, Colgate plus 6.5. Minus 125. So I might actually be able to get this in. There we go. So I was able to get $200 down on Onyx odds when DraftKings had the same thing. So that's sweet. Still don't know why. Onyx odds has not been pinging the right plays then for us. I think that's another bug that we kind of need to work out. Kel says, wonder how the UI will look. Oh, yeah. The other thing I didn't mention is they're partnering with, who the hell are they partnering with? Not gambling.com. Hold on. I'll figure it out. I think crypto.com they're partnering with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's crypto.com that they're partnering with, which is interesting. I don't know if I said this on Twitter, but it's kind of funny now where something like Fanatics and DraftKings, it's like I'm in a state where the sports books are regulated here and legal to bet here. And it's funny because the ongoing discussion in these regulated sports is about like limited bettors, why they get limited, and like what can we do to, I want to say help the limited bettors out, but just get a better understanding about it. So now I'm in a spot where, let's say I have DraftKings, I have Fanatics, they're each allowing me to bet $10 max. And, now they're launching another prediction market where I could bet whatever I want to in their book now, because it's a prediction market and peer to peer, but I don't have access to it because they're only launching it in the states they don't have sports books in. So now I'm in a spot where I can't really bet on their sports books anymore because they've limited me so bad. And now they have this new product, which I could bet, but now I can't because they only launch it in non-regulated books. So funny. So Underdog is partnered with them as well. So here's how and maybe it's going to work is I don't know if so Robinhood feeds into Kalshi. Like Kalshi is the main market where they have all the orders, and Robinhood is pretty much just a user interface and brand that feeds into the Kalshi markets. So I don't know if Fanatics is going to have its own like prediction product, or if it's just going to kind of be a feed into something different. Oh yeah, did Paulie and Onyx launch something too? Because I did actually. When you log on to Onyx now, it says it mentions prediction markets now. So maybe did Paulie join with Onyx? So yeah, it's going to be all these different brands just like piggybacking on the same like prediction market is how I view it. But the problem, like with Robinhood, like the fees are way higher than if you just traded on Kalshi. You can only take markets, you can't make markets. So it's like, why bet on Robinhood when you can do the same thing on Kalshi for cheaper? I don't know. Maybe you have the same kind of skill or education gap that you do in sports betting, where people just don't really care about the price. They just want to bet on things. They don't really care about fees. But I'm pretty sure the Robinhood fee was like 3%. And, we were just looking at my Pickett account. I make 2.5%. So if I'm betting plays at paying a 3% fee, I'm going to lose money, even though I have edges on the bets, because I'm going to get destroyed with their fees. So I'm curious to see how that all works out. In the end, I've had these conversations before, but I believe it'll be a duopoly of prediction markets as well, kind of just like it is with FanDuel and DraftKings and the sports betting market. I don't think there can't be 100 different prediction markets, because whatever market gets the most liquidity and gets to the best prices possible with the best reward system is going to win. There's no reason to bet on a different platform when the fees are higher and there's less liquidity. It's a good question. For college basketball and college football, what limits are you looking for Pinnacle and Circle? So we don't know the Circle limits, unfortunately, but we do have Pinnacle limits. For college basketball, I'm looking for $3,000 limits across the board, kind of for the most part from Pinnacle, before I'm very confident in something. And then for college football, I'm looking for $3,000 limits for totals and $5,000 limits for spreads. Sometimes that doesn't happen until like game day or a little bit before game, like a day or two before game day. It all depends on the teams as well. Like, the top 25 schools are going to get higher limits a lot quicker in the week than smaller schools. And if you don't wait for the limits to go up, like you can lock in a ton of value, but you can also lose a lot of value. It's kind of more volatile if you get in there too early. That's how I view it. There's a lot of market manipulation at lower limits. So once I see those limits go up $3,000 to $5,000, like I'm good to fire. And I know that pretty much any action into these books now is action that I can trust. Yeah, so here's a good question too. If the bet is showing value to all three sharps, do you still bet it if the limits are below your threshold? So yeah, that's like just another confidence level that I have, is like if there's multiple sharp books, I'm willing to play lower edges, and I'll play them earlier in the week as well, because I know what are the chances that all three sharp books are being manipulated or are just wrong. So yeah, more sharp books, the better. The more confident you can be, the more willing I'd be to play at lower limits. Speaking of Fanatics, not much there. All right, let's look at the FanDuel jackpot promo. So my goal here is always to just pick the person that no one else is going to pick, and you pray. That's my strategy. I'm hoping to win $50,000 bonus bet instead of a $5 bonus bet. So we're picking someone to score the first or last touchdown. So I'm trying to pick just someone that barely gets on the field that no one is going to pick. And that is going to lose over 99% of the time. But if it hits that one time, it's going to be worth it. So let's look at touchdown scores. We can pick defenses. You know, Ray Davis did get a couple carries last week. Davis Mills running one. He might actually be like a semi-popular pick. Oh, Brayton took Ray Davis. So maybe we're not outsmarting anyone. Like, who is Reggie Gillen? I usually like to pick the underdog player too. Let's look at the Bills depth chart here. Who is Reggie? He's a fullback. Does he have a carry this year or a catch? 6 carries for 10 yards. Sounds like someone who could punch one in. 0 touchdown. I mean, I don't know why you would give it to this guy when you have Josh Allen and James Cook behind you, but oh, he's 2 receiving touchdowns? This isn't his career. Last 5 games, he has 0 catches, 0 receptions, 0 carries. Regular season, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, that looks like a donation. That might be too far. I think that's too far. Latu? Kaliki Latu? I don't know these guys. Don't know these guys that well. So what do we got here? Kaliki, not on the depth chart. My blind is this guy not on the depth chart. Oh, he is fourth tight end. What have you done last 5 games? Regular season, 1 reception, 1 target. So you throw at him, he catches the ball. There's no doubt about that. Also, 1 career catch. Jackson Haas. Last 5 games, he has 4 catches on 7 targets and a touchdown. What are his odds at? Plus 750. You know what? I feel like he's the guy. Let's go Jackson Haas for this, or I don't know how to say his name. Hawas? I don't know. That's what we're going with. For the Bills, 3rd string tight end, $10 for the jackpot promo. First or last touchdown. That's what we're rooting for. Maybe Bills will be up 30 and they'll put him in for the last drive and he'll score. All right, now I want to take advantage of these same game parlays for tonight. So this is a 30% same game parlay on a 3-leg parlay for $10. So I'm going to go over to SharpMoney Discord and go down to the free section that everyone has access to if you're just in the free Discord. If you want to join the free Discord or get the Plus EV bots or sign up for SharpMoney VIP, the links are in the description of this. But here is a great feature that our free Discord has, where we have hand-selected members of our Discord that every one of these guys have been around for well over a year now, devigging promos and spitting out fair value prices for us and telling you how much your edge is worth. So looks like we got, all right, Kip is on the NHL boost and the NBA boost. Who's on Thursday Night Football? Oh, no one cooked up a Thursday Night Football bet for FanDuel yet. So let's look at our bot. So Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns we have as an edge here. Circa has this at plus 124. Pinnacle has it plus 111. BetOnline plus 100. This is actually an ARB to BetOnline. BetOnline is minus 130 to plus 132. I'm going to take this. Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdown. I'm going to take this straight. I was going to look for legs to build. All right, plus 122. This get. So fair value is plus 120. So you could still play it. I don't love it. I mean, I'm going to throw 100 on it because it is Thursday Night Football and I want a little action. And this is a slightly positive EV play still, but it doesn't have nearly as much value as I thought it was going to have. MO29 took the play. All right, what is going on here? Let me cancel out of here. Oh, did I pick Arizona as my state? That could have been why. All right, I'll add that to the ticker. Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Plus 122 on FanDuel. If you guys are watching this right now, could you please do me a favor and just hit the like button on this stream? I've noticed that the videos that I get more likes on for the streams have done really well. So I'm just straight up asking you for some likes to hopefully promote the video a little bit more. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you have not done that yet. We just hit 3,000 subscribers to our YouTube channel last stream, so on Tuesday. So we just crossed 3,000. The Tuesday night streams have been really crushing it with Sigma and Jay. We've been doing really well. I think bringing some new eyes in for the news segment that we do there, which I love doing. Here's another play we'll take. Aaron Jones over 2.5 receptions. Pinnacle just moved from minus 104 to minus 120 on this line, so 22 cents better. So we're gonna hit some props. Plus 102. Just going to go 100 flat on all these. No, I'm not. I'm going 98. Max bet. Add it to the ticker. Aaron Jones over 2.5 receptions. Plus 102. All right, I'm going to hit these NHL boosts and NBA boost because we did see that Kip had him in the promos. So 25% NBA boost here. It's a DVIG to Pinnacle. And we're getting a 37% edge with this bet. We have this quick pick bot. This is a 3-leg DeMar DeRozan over 18.5 points. Russell Westbrook over 6.5 assists. Andre Drummond double-double. Same game parlay boosted here. Quick Pick bot is made by Pickett, which is going to bring us to the Pickett website where we can one-click link this into FanDuel. So there's our play. I turn on my profit boost. I'm getting 503. So I do want to double check to see what they got with the boost. So we're getting, they got plus 594. But it still has value here. Fair value is plus 404. So we're still getting 100 cents better than fair value. So we're going to put that one in real quick. And building these promos, I mean, it is truly a pain in the ass. That's why I love what the promo team does. It makes my life a lot easier to hit these, these lower limit promos, which I typically didn't screw around with until these guys started building out these plays because I didn't think it was worth my time. But now it's very simple to just click a button and copy them, and I trust them to build profitable plays. And anyone that's been betting the promos at Sharp Money for long enough knows that they are insanely profitable, and a lot of people absolutely crush it. I don't think I even get DraftKings promos anymore. I'll double check. Suspended. All right. So I'm just going to add a random money line into this because I know that the VIG is small on money line bets. So I'm not going to overcome the edge that he built this parlay out for. So let's just take Tampa Bay Lightning minus 170 and add that one to mine. I'll go to DraftKings real quick and see if I actually have a promo, but typically they stopped giving me them. Oh, here's a super boost. These are always good. Josh Allen, one passing touchdown or rushing touchdown in the first quarter, boosted to plus 200. You don't need to devig this because I've seen basically every happy hour boost devigged, and they're always profitable. Wow, actually let me bet $10 there. All right, so I do get a 30%. Man, I get a lot of DraftKings stuff. Let's see what I can actually get down in here. So 3-leg for tonight's game, opting into the 30% profit boost for the same game parlay. And we're going to go over to DraftKings. Oh, look at this. Thralia just posted this. The happy hour super boost rough devig here. We got some conversations about this. CNO, Crazy Ninja Odds Discord, which is known for devigging promos, is saying that they're debating it. So maybe it's not as good as typically. Thralia says, based on some loose math, reverse engineering, quarter level props on FanDuel, he gets this result. Take it what it's worth. They purposely came up with something very difficult to devig accurately compared to traditional methods. So thank you, Thralia, for giving us your best shot here. He came up with about 13% edge. So like I said, I blindly take these super boosts because pretty much every single one that I've seen typically comes out to be profitable. So we already bet that. So it doesn't matter what it said. We have to bet it anyway. Thursday night promo for DraftKings. First half over 20.5. Shavers under 1.5 receptions. James Cook anytime touchdown. This should build to plus 748 on DraftKings. With the boost, 748, perfect. Let's see what my max wager is 5. Let's see if they actually let me bet 5. They did. All right. Man, might as well just keep ripping through these. I mean, the only $5 bets here, but quick hits. I'm just going to load this one up and take it as well. And then I'll go back to the main bots for a second here because I know you guys can't tail these as easily. Quick hit Spurs. Quick pick bot won't even do it. And the pre-boost went down. All right. It's not worth finding that one. Bucks 76ers first quarter over also pinging. Do we have play on this yet? I don't think so. The EV is so small. I don't really want to touch it. All right, here's a one that's pretty good. It's only $1,500 limits here on Fliff. This is for today, or this is Saturday, so it's kind of far out. It's a total points market. Bookmaker recently went downwards on their last move. All right, I'm avoiding that one as well. All right, I think that's most of the plays that are populated right now. If you want full access to the SharpMoney Plus EV bots, that link is down below. And if you sign up and use the code YouTube, you'll get 25% off your first month. So don't forget to put that promo code in there if you're going to join. We also have a VIP handicapping service where myself and 2 other cappers, I do running back projections where we send our fair value prices and what books they're good on to a very select amount of members in the VIP group, and you're able to bet those prices. You can bet them on the exchanges if you have limits. It's just a better way to get more out. So, all right, hold on. We got one more question here. In your opinion, why do you think people like Alex at OddsJam and stuff do better in terms of exposure compared to sharp bettors like yourself, also older creators like Unabated? So, I mean, well, what I always think is, first of all, it's hard to grow an audience in like such a niche space like this, where it's so like math oriented and it's like really against the grain of for more like most sports bettors. Like if I start talking about EV betting to anyone that is interested in sports, it's like an immediate turnoff. So I just don't even talk to people about it. So I think it's a hard area to kind of really scale up. What I will say though is someone like myself, like my followers and the people that actually watch my videos are so valuable because they are taking in like kind of dry content. So like even though my following might not be that big, I think the people that are following me is like a great base of a community. But with that being said, I think Alex, obviously he's made so much money and the numbers get people to click on posts and grow a business. And, you know, Alex created OddsJam, and OddsJam is just a massive company, and he's obviously grown with the company as the head figure there. So that's obviously the reason that he's done so well. He also has a very big personality, I would say, and that's also very important to, you know, being liked, very liked and disliked is part of like growing, and to have like a really not aggressive personality, but a big personality definitely helps you grow. I feel like maybe that's one of the downsides that I have of my growth is like I think I'm too level headed. I can see both sides of the ball like 99% of the time. So I don't have these like extremely hot takes. And then compared to older creators like Unabated, like from Jack from Unabated. I mean, Jack's been doing it for so long and his information is so good. I think that's just what helps him grow. In terms of like there's not that many big faces in like the plus EV side of sports betting. So not that I'm up there, but you know, like if you go on YouTube and look up like the Kelly Criterion formula, like I'm probably one of the top 5-10 videos. So it's just a small market to like really grow in. And those guys have obviously done extremely well. Thoughts on the Sharp Money platforms that identify where the liquidity is on certain games or props? I think it's good and bad. We had this discussion to where like any sharp better that is posting a lot of liquidity on a market, you don't need to post it all in one chunk. You could post $500 at a time and get your fill slowly. So now these sharp bettors know that people have eyes on the amount of liquidity that's being posted. So either they're going to sneak under the radar and post smaller liquidity multiple times, or they will straight up somehow use that as an edge for them. Fake a market a certain way. If they post a ton of liquidity on one side that won't get filled, people start hitting the other side. Line moves, then they hit the line they want. So here's what I think: if you're a sharp better betting whatever liquidity gets flagged, $5,000, people are seeing that, and now you can use that towards your advantage. Where you only need to let people see the amount of liquidity you're posting if you want them to. So I think it could be used against them as well. Something I think about it when it comes to creators like Alex was they're tailoring to underdog, prize picks, and bettors. Yeah, player props in general. I feel like it's easy to connect with. Yeah, I mean, with like everyone loves, like, I guess that's kind of the gap between like the sharp bettors and the rec bettors is like DFS plus CV plays, where we're building these long shot parlays, and yes, long term they're profitable, but they're also so fun to build. The other thing I'll say too is I don't watch sports that often anymore. Like I said, I have a full-time job. I got a wife, I got 2 kids. I'm running this business. I'm placing my own sports bets. Like I'm trying to do this all at once, and content creation is like one of just the many things I do. I mean, if I was doing this full time, that'd be a different story as well. But yeah, I think DFS is a great way to kind of connect sharp and non-sharp sports bettors. It's really good. Kels, I do not use OddsJam at all. I have free access to OddsJam Platinum, and I don't use it at all. The only time I ever check OddsJam is when I'm confirming that our bots are working correctly. I need to check their prices. So I probably should be using OddsJam. Like, you know what I would really use it for is if I did any live betting. They have really good live betting features. But I typically stop betting around when games start, and I spend time with my family. So I just don't do it. And that's honestly the people that are making tons of money in this industry. They're doing pregame, they're doing live betting, they're doing arbitrage, they're doing everything. I think part of what maybe makes me more relatable to a lot of our members is like I'm not making millions of dollars doing this. I'm just as busy as everyone else that's listening to the stream, that's in my Discord, and I have realistic expectations where I'm trying to make $20,000-$30,000 a year doing something I love. Not necessarily trying to make this into a full-time job right now. The business side of Sharp Money and where that's going to go and what we're building towards is, probably what will eventually hopefully get me full-time in this field, not just sports betting, unless I figure out how to beat prediction markets, which I'm trying like hell to figure that out as well. Oh, Unabated made a video about the Sharp Money today. I want to watch that one. I try to watch as much of the Jack stuff as I can. Yeah, I wouldn't say OddsJam definitely isn't. It all depends. Like it might be overpriced, but it offers so much stuff at the same time. It all depends. You got to have the money to make the money, type of thing. Yeah, I got to start doing the DFS. There may be some type of app or website in the future. I'll say that. Yeah. So, Kels, I mean, if I wanted to, I could make 10 different P2 accounts and easily make $100,000 a year, probably, to be honest. So I just burn through accounts, arbitrage bet, EV bet, live bet on my dad's account, my grandma's account, all that. It's just, that's not what I'm trying to do. But if you're doing it full time, you have to have tons of different accounts. Oh, you mean sure? Well, OddsJam has a tool called SharpMoney now. So I don't know. And there's also a new website called SmartMoney. So I don't know which one you're going for. There are two different things. SharpMoney is part of OddsJam, and that's the one that shows you the liquidity in the market. SmartMoney is its own website separate from OddsJam. But I haven't checked out either of them, to be honest, really. But yeah, so like when I first I started with OddsJam, I did a year subscription when I first started. So like I'll never badmouth them, because without them I wouldn't be where I was. But at the time, like I said, my unit size was $2,000, and I was paying $200 a month for their EV service, which scared the hell out of me, because that was 10% of my bankroll. But luckily, I was able to, I was hoping to make a couple hundred. Like I was paying $200 for their product a month, and I was like, if I could make $300 or $400 and make $100 or $200 in profit at the end of the day, I'd be very happy. And then like first month I made like $2 or $3 grand. I was like, oh shit. And then I just kept kind of scaling with it. All right, now I'm getting off though. I love the questions. I really appreciate you guys engaging in the chat. It's a lot more fun when we have a lot of questions going on. So, all right, I will see you guys. My next stream will be probably Monday Night Football. I've been trying to do Monday to Tuesdays and Thursdays streaming. So good luck. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and sign up for the free Sharp Money Discord, or one of the paid services as well. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. Have a good weekend.